Hey, hope you're having a fantastic day. So today I have a ton of books. I have a huge book haul. I'm so excited for these. A lot of these have been on my TBR for well over a year. There's a few that I have read. There's a few that I'm like, am I going to like... I did get a few on Kindle, which I figured I could just share as well. I'm super excited for those. Some of these I have read. Most of them I have not. Some of them are continuing a series, and I am just super excited for these. Like, I can't wait to get into it. So let's get started. So first off, we have The Last Dragon on Mars. So I have read this one. I believe it was the beginning of this year, maybe end of last year, and I enjoyed this book so much. This is more of a middle grade read from... maybe YA. I think the main character's around 12 years old, but pretty much what happens in this story is the main character, they live on Mars, right? And like dragons are known about, but they're rare, and they're like what we look to be as like Mother Earth, but it's like Mother Dragon of Earth, if that makes any sense at all. And the main character is an orphan. He ends up kind of stumbling upon a military facility that he's not supposed to, ends up finding a dragon that wasn't supposed to be there, and pretty much all hell breaks loose and things happen. And it was a really good book. It's about teamwork. It's a good story. Not really any romance or anything like this, but I really enjoyed it. And then the second book, if I can find it, I thought I had it all lined out ready to go for us. Hold on. Here we go. The Rise of Neptune. Now this is the book I have not read yet. This is the second in the series. And again, what caught me literally of The Last Dragon on Mars was, I remember when it first came out, I saw it in Barnes & Noble, just sitting here, like right as you walk in, like, you know, the first book row, like it was sitting on the edge. I just remember thinking like, yeah, I want to just read it for the cover. And the story was actually fantastic, because of course the storyline ended up being really cool. But this is the second book in the series, The Rise of Neptune. Now I'm super excited to get into it. It left us on a cliffhanger from the first book. This one does have sprayed edges. I don't necessarily care if they have sprayed edges or not, but I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. If they have them, I'm down for them. So super excited to get into this series. It's a really good read. Again, YA, maybe middle grade read, but I really enjoyed it even as a slightly elder, somewhat adult. The next is Never Finished. So this is a self-help book. I really enjoyed David Goggins' first book, Can't Hurt Me? Yeah, that's what it's called, Can't Hurt Me. And it changed my outlook on life and what I want to continue to do in life. And so I'm really excited for him to really deep dive into this one. So, brief story, David Goggins was a former Marine? Navy. No, he was a Navyman. Yeah, because he was a frogman. No. So he was in the Navy, excuse me. Sorry, David Goggins, you're watching this. He was in the Navy. And he spent 20 years of his life, and he pretty much was giving the absolute shit end of the stick. Like, he has gone through so much. He was obese, he was poor, he was black, growing up in a small white town. Like, everything that this man could go through in life and God to throw at this man or the universe, the man pulled through. And it really teaches you and just shows you, like, how to build the power from within, because you have it. But not only with the power within, but how to unleash it, and how to know your limits, so you know how far you can push and what are your limits. And it's a really fantastic, interesting story. So I'm super interested to go on to the next book, because I really do think that first book, Can't Hurt Me, it truly changed my life. And I know this one is going to be even better, because it's going to give you more tactics and thoughts. And it's just, he rolled it out to like a no shits given, like, you need to do this or not. And I really like that approach. And so I'm really excited for this book. Next, this series I am super excited for. So I have read The Spell Shop. So this was a book that became super popular on like TikTok, Book Talk, whatever you want to call it, and like BookTube. And I was so hesitant to read this because it was so popular. I have had several issues with a lot of the more popular books, because I'm like, I didn't understand why they were so popular. I didn't get the gist. I didn't understand what was happening. I thought they were piss poor. So I'm always really concerned when they're really popular, but I finally gave in and read this a few months ago in autumn. And this is like an autumn cozy fantasy setting. And let me tell you, I can't even talk. This did not disappoint. This was such a good book. And I didn't even get this book a 5 stars. I give it like a 4.25, 4.5. But the story, like, I still think about this book, and it's been months after. I still think about it almost on a daily basis. That's how much I enjoyed this book. Like, seriously. Like, the first few chapters, I'm like, I don't know. But then once it got past like the beginning of the story and like the like nitty gritty of what you needed to do, so good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. So this follows our main character. This is like the world is set into like different islands, kind of like think of Hawaii, Thailand, Philippines, things like that. It's a connection of islands, right? There's a big island and little islands throughout. She is currently on the main island and she's a librarian, and pretty much civil war has broken out and she is trying to save all of these magical books. And so because like whatever that was happening in the civil war, they're going to burn everything down and they're going to burn the royal library down. So she takes everything, packs it up on a ship, leaves with her trusty friend / assistant who is a talking plant. It doesn't exactly go into how exactly he was made, but I believe Kaz is his name. I think he's a spider plant, but he's some type of talking plant who can do other things. He's really cool. He's a really interesting character. But anyway, she and him escape with some of these books from the library, and they're kind of like, well, where do we go now? So she was originally born on one of like the outlying islands that is really, really small. So she's like, well, technically my parents had a house there. I guess that's where we'll go. So with nowhere to go and to flee, so she goes there, ends up getting there, houses in shambles, of course, and it's a really small town community, and of course she's now grown up in a big city. She doesn't understand that, so their neighbors are coming to give her gifts and they're welcoming her, but the town that she sees is not what she remembers. And from what has happened in the capital, nobody has sent out any magicians or what do they call them, like witches, things like that. Yearly they need to send out a certain amount of people in order to do spells, in order to like calm down the atmosphere and the wave and like the growing, but they haven't sent one out in like 5 or 10 years, right? So she takes it upon herself, seeing like everything happening in the small village because it's not thriving. She's like, well, I mean, I can do that. I have all these books. Surely, like, I have the knowledge. I can do it. So she kind of takes it upon herself to kind of save her town and this village. And it's a really good storyline. It's a fantastic plot line. Cozy fantasy. There's not really high stakes. Small bit of romance in it. And it's super cute. And it's a really, really fun time. And I really, really enjoyed this book. So that leads into the second book in the series, The Enchanted Greenhouse. Now, this one I am super, super excited for. So it's about different characters still in the same world of the spell shop. So pretty much the witch, or whoever you want to call it, magician who made Cass the talking spider plant, because that was like not allowed, against the rules, she was turned into some type of wood or something or other. And for some reason, she somehow ends in a greenhouse on a different world, or not a different world, but on a different island. And this follows her storyline. She wakes up out of the blue, out of this wood, because she's supposed to be like banished to it for like a certain amount of time or for life, something along those lines. And then she wakes up in this greenhouse, and it's kind of a big mystery. Why was she here? Why was she brought here? I think it's, again, a little bit of romance, cozy fantasy. It's got more of a winter vibe, so I'm super excited to get into this soon. But this, I think it's going to be, I'm really hoping it's on par, at least with Spell Shop, or if not better. But I think it's going to be really fun, so I'm super excited for this one. But this is a really good series. If you're into it, like cozy fantasy, don't need high stakes, good palate cleansers, fun to go. Next, we have Building a Non-Anxious Life. When I tell you, I have literally been trying to finish this book for over a year and a half. No joke. This is a fantastic book too. Like, it really is. His first book, Redefining Anxiety, which you do not have to read first. It's more so reiterated, but it's like the science behind his thoughts on anxiety and things like this. He's also on the Dave Ramsey show, if you know who Dave Ramsey is. But this book is literally like, every time I go to read it, I have a harder time getting through self-help books because, of course, they're not as fun to read, and I feel like you have to read them in increments to really let them settle in and figure out like everything you're wanting to learn and like what you need to change and like reflecting, things like that. And every time I like start to read this book, I get a few chapters in because I borrow it from the Libby app, but then I never finish it. Like I never end up doing it. It's like not enough time. So I've literally been trying to finish this book for a year and a half, but I finally figured, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm actually going to finally purchase this book and finish it up, because I know I'm at least halfway through, if not more. And it's like, I need to finish it because I love the principles. It's all about truly building a non-anxious life. His view on anxiety, how it's not just a disease or disorder. It's your body warning you what's going on. And it's not supposed to be a forever thing. Medicine is not a bad thing. You should be on it for a certain amount of time if it is to help you, but you have to learn your body and change your environment in order to make sure the alarm bells go off and stop the anxiety, and then you could maybe stop taking the pills and things like that. And it's a very interesting concept. I'm a doctor in my everyday daily life, so this is just a very interesting concept to me because of course I don't love to take medicine and other things like that, and I'm not on any anxiety meds like that, which there's nothing wrong with that. But his viewpoints and how to build an anxious life and really just finding out what you want and prioritize in life, I think has been so phenomenal and truly life-changing in many aspects. So super excited to read about this book and finally finish it. Let me tell you, I need to finish this book. Hold me to it because this is ridiculous. I've been on this book for way too long. Next, this just came in the mail. I'm so excited for this. This is Crown Tide. This is the last book in the Late Luck series. I am so excited for this. This is one of my all-time favorite series. Hello, Kate. We have a visitor. It's okay. Crown Tide is the fourth and last book, yes, I believe, in the Late Luck series. So Late Luck follows Isla, and pretty much on this world, everybody is cursed. Every different nation is cursed for some reason or other. And every 500 years, all of the rulers get together, kind of have a battle, or like sit down of like, and they try to figure out for like a week or so of like why this is all happening and how to break all these curses. And it's a wild ride. It's not a why choose a love triangle. That was just like, it's a love triangle, so many things. And there's all, like the way she writes it, this is considered a YA, but like you can literally, like they're just standing next to each other, not even touching each other, and you could feel the love and the spice and the steam, and it's so beautifully written, and it's such an interesting storyline. And so I'm so excited for this to finally finish up the series. I will definitely be finishing up this in the new year. I'm so excited. Highly suggest it. Again, it's a YA fantasy, such an interesting concept. They do all end in cliffhangers, but this is the last and final book, so it is a finished series. Highly suggest it. Oh, love this book. Can't even talk to it. I'm so excited for it. This is another book that I have picked up. It is highly rated, and it's kind of been on my radar, and so I'm interested to go and read it. So it's Don't Believe Everything You Think. And I saw, funny enough, because I've been thinking about going through, like, well, what books am I thinking about getting and things like that. And I saw another content creator that I really enjoy watching, and she got it, and she was kind of talking about it and, like, her viewpoints. And I'm like, it was just an interesting concept. And I do think I am very much a perfectionist in my world. And I like things to begin a certain way, and I notice I'm really bad at talking to myself. I talk very negatively to myself, and I'm trying to change that. But I'm interested to see the thoughts and other things and tactics that I could improve upon in this book line in order to help with that. So I'm really interested to go through and see with this one. And it's a very short read. It's just a small book, so I'll definitely let you guys know. But I'm not necessarily negative Nancy. I'm just very negative about myself, and I don't need to be. And again, I'm interested to see the concepts and tactics that maybe they will reveal in this book. So hopefully that will help me out a little bit. Immortal Consequences. Now this book has been on my radar for a while. It was unsure if I really wanted it, and it does have some beautiful sprayed edges. Again, I don't necessarily care for sprayed edges, but I'm excited for this book. So in this book series, there are 6, I believe it's considered young adult, maybe. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's all the sticker young adult, LOL. So there are 6 young people in university, but they're all dead. Okay, so it's kind of in the afterlife university, I guess, and they're all kind of battling for this competition to get back, and whoever wins gets to return to life. And I think it's just an interesting concept, and I think it's so fascinating. And I think there's quite a few reviews on this book now. I think there's a second book out, but this has been on my radar, and it's not on Kindle Unlimited or anything like that, so I thought I would finally snag it. And such an interesting concept, like, okay, they're battling out to come back to life, and then there's like different mysteries and like things, and like just the concept alone of like being dead and like trying to come back to life, like it's just very interesting. So I'm super interested for this one for sure. The last more like self-help book we have is How to Live, The Science and Art of Longevity. Now this has been on my radar for a while. This is honestly a really oddly shaped book. Like, why is it so long? I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna bother me on my shelf, but oh well. Like, does it bother anybody else? Like, there's certain way books are shaped. Like, why does it have to be that shaped that way? Anyway, sorry, internal thought there. This one, again, I am a doctor in everyday real life, so this is really interesting of a book for me. I'm always into theories, and I'm studying all the time, and I enjoy other people's opinions of things and things like that. And I have an autoimmune disease, and I've been struggling a lot with my allergies and things like that, so I'm interested to see, like, his viewpoint of like how to outlive and why certain genes are shaped this way or that way, and just why the body functions a certain way and how to improve upon that so you can live longer and things of that nature. So it's really, I don't think it's going to be as sciencey as I feel like I'm making it out to be. I think it's going to be an interesting read. I think it's going to be definitely a harder and longer read because of course it's not as fun as fantasy to read, but it is still interesting to me. So super interested in seeing that one. Hello, Kate. She just wants my attention. She's like, stop talking, mommy, stop talking. Now this one has definitely been on my radar and my TBR for at least 2 years, 3 years. Gotta be 3 years. So Blood Over Bright Haven. I feel like I have heard good and bad things about this. I think that's why I've been so hesitant to pick it up, or I've been so hesitant to read it, but I'm finally like, you know what? No, let's put it on my shelf. And I'm super excited for it. I think it just sounds really interesting. So she's been like, the main character is studying magic, and she's kind of invited into this big society or this university of mages. And I think it's kind of rare for a woman or somebody specifically with her type of magic in order to go into this university, because usually I think they're like shunned of things like that. So super excited, because then things, it's mysterious, like why was she invited in, what do they want from her, things like that, and like is she really going to be able to hone her craft. And so I'm interested to see what really goes on, because of course then there's like some man who comes in, tries to get things done and things of that sort. So I think this is going to be more thought-provoking read. I think it's going to challenge some beliefs of her system, you know, in here. So I'm just intrigued. I guess intrigued is the best word. I'm very intrigued for what this book is going to showcase to me. This one, Half-Blood, has been on my radar for a heck of a long time. It is, I believe, a finished series, but I know it follows, it's young adult. The main character, her mom was a mage or a witch, and she is currently a witch, but she does not go to like the main Majima school, and she's kind of been on the run with her and her sister. I believe it's her sister. And so she finally gets captured, is ordered to go to the Covenant, and she has to go and train and become this mage and this thing. But she's hiding a lot of secrets. A lot of things are being questioned as to why this is all happening and things like that. So I think it's interesting as to what's going to get going on, because she's not a pure-blooded like mage or witch, right? She's only a half-blood. So why, you know, she's going to get bullied and like looked down upon, because why is she even in the school? Only full blood should be allowed here. And again, it's an intriguing thing going on. And I believe this is a 6-book series. I feel like that sounds right. And again, all YA, but this is a significantly, it's kind of chonky, like, so I better be good. But I'm just interested. Like, the concept seems interesting, and I think it's gonna be just a fun, quick YA read. All right, this next book I have been on the fence about, but I think keeps getting suggested to me, and I feel like it's going to be my complete realm, and I'm going to love it. Silver Elite. So this one is pretty much, she has psychic powers and some type of like death-like powers, which you're not supposed to have. It's super illegal in this like dystopian world, and it's pretty much a death sentence if you do have this. And of course she has it. She's trying to lie and like just trying to live her life, but of course things always come to light, and she's kind of battling everything. She's hiding who she is, and of course there's a love interest that comes in, and I'm not entirely sure the entire plot line, but I do just find it so interesting, and again, very intriguing, because again, hidden magic, love trope, some romance, dystopian world, like you got me hooked on this, right? You're like, I'm a simple girl, like you got me, okay? I've been heard like it's giving Divergent like vibes, but more adulty, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good read. Again, I'm on the fence because this was one of those other popular book talk books. I'm like, is it worth it? Is it not? I don't know. We will find out, to be determined. Okay, next. Got my phone out so I know these are all the Kindle books that I have gotten. They're on sale for like $2, $1, but again, they've all been on my TBR for a while now, so I'm super excited. But the first one is the Road of Bones, and I'll put it up here. This is going to be, I think, an interesting read. It's got Viking-like vibes. She's on the run from the queen who wants to kill her, and from my understanding, her dad just like go to this specific, take the Road of Bones and go to this specific house in this, they will protect you. They are like of all like the shield warriors, like they're gonna take care of you. But this road is like 1,000 miles long, super treacherous, lots of warlords, lots of, what do you call it, bandits and things like that, things going to try and kill you. So she's literally on the run by herself trying to make it. And I think this is going to be an interesting read. I think a lot of things are going to be revealed. Like, first of all, why is she trying to get killed? Why does the queen need to murder her? So I think this is going to be a very interesting read. The next is Intrigue to me. Now, I will say I'm still on the fence about this. I've been suggested this a while now by a few people, and I'm just like, is it for me? Is it not for me? This is kind of like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I don't know what it is. I just feel like the Beauty and Beast retellings are so overdone, and I'm not a huge retelling person anyway, but I don't know, I'm on the edge of this. But she pretty much, I should back up. Main character is the dude. He is like some high and mighty lord or something or other. Of course, he's cursed. He's losing all of his kind of humanity. He's becoming mad, and he is pretty much entrapped in time in his castle. And his family is like, oh, we have a way out. And so they send the other main character's sister to like help him out, thinking, oh, that'll break the curse. So she's like, I'm gonna save you from ruin. And then this other female main character comes in, figures out, oh, this is in time. I'm sure romance ensues. Again, I'm really on the fence about this, but I've been suggested it and I've heard it's done so well. So I'm going to take people's word for it, but we'll see. Now, the next book in Ember in the Ashes is a book that has not really been on my radar, but something about it, I feel like I've kind of seen it around, maybe at Barnes & Noble, maybe somebody's told me about it. It's not on my TBR, but I felt so intrigued by the story. So it's inspired by like ancient Rome vibes, imperialistic, pretty much if you're not working for the empire and like giving your blood, sweat, and tears, then like you were nothing to the empire. So the main character, she works for like the higher ups and things like that, and I believe her brother is killed or taken as prisoner, something of that sort. And so she's kind of faced the choice of either I join up and continue on my life down this road, or I spy and help the rebels kind of try and take over the empire. And so she chooses to take over the empire and spies upon this in this military academy, where she meets this other main character who is the finest soldier that they've ever had, yada yada yada, but he's the most unwilling of soldiers. And so it kind of is a conspiracy, like they're both, are they for it, are they not? They're kind of like in this weird, like, can we trust each other? They're trying to kind of topple the empire. I think it's going to be an interesting read. I believe this is a 4-book series, and so, I don't know, something about this book, and maybe it's just the cover, but something about it stood out to me, and I feel like the storyline is going to be also very interesting, because of course ancient Rome is always super cool to read about, but super excited for that one. Next is The Serpent and the Wolf. So this one is, again, another intriguing read. Pretty much her mom dies. She and her brother are kind of like in line for the throne, but the brother's like, absolutely not, you need to die or get the heck out of here. And so she is then married off to some political advantage, other lord or other ruler, and the brother thinks, oh, good riddance, he's probably going to kill her here soon, he's evil, tyrannical, yada yada yada. But the other main character who ends up marrying the sister is like, actually no, this is intriguing, and I think they end up falling in love, and I think it's just gonna be, I believe it's a trilogy. It's just an interesting pull and tug. Again, it hasn't been done before probably, but I think it's just an interesting concept. And then of course, like, is the brother gonna get his comeuppance? I guess that's my always reason, like, is the brother gonna get his comeuppance? Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Last but not least is Found Your Side. This one has also been on my radar for a while, but I just haven't been able to get my hands on it. And so this one follows the main character. She's like an expert thief kind of thing. Think Aladdin vibes. She goes and steals this huge artifact, not realizing what kind of artifact this is, or even that it holds all of these magical abilities and things like that. And so she steals it, brings it back, goes to turn it in, figures out actually it's a huge artifact that could potentially upturn her world, and if they figure out all its secrets, they could upturn how society is run and how the country is being run and things like that. So it's kind of like an Aladdin-esque kind of vibe, and I'm interested to see because it's the way she's been trained to be a thief pretty much, and the fact that now she's kind of coming up and then now finding about this magic artifact and how is she going to use it, because only she can use it, and it's kind of like why can only she use it. And so again, very intriguing, very interesting. And of course everybody's out to kill her because the Lord really wanted it, and then like of course the existence they do not want known, so she's got a bunch of people after her trying to murder her, things like that. I mean, sounds like a good book to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had a fantastic time. I enjoyed reading about these books, telling you about all these books. I feel like I've been talking to you forever about books. I love books. You love books. That's why you're here. And so I'm really excited. I really love if you would want to maybe subscribe, put a little happy in your day, maybe talk about more books, maybe more lifestyle. I'm always here for you. I know you're always here for me. But I will see you on the next time. Bye, guys.